Okay, Schild analysis is a classical tool for identifying competitive orthosteric antagonism. Where does it break down, and what does that failure look like in data? That's a great question. Okay, this is one of those one-way experiments. In that, if you have an orthosteric competitive antagonism, uh, it better show a linear Schild plot with a slope of 1, unless something's obscuring that, but let's start there. That's consistent with orthosteric, simple, competitive antagonism, but it's not proof of, because a very low alpha beta index NAM will do the same thing. It'll shift the curve, no depression, a maximum. It'll shift the curve tenfold, hundredfold, thousandfold, depending if alpha beta is 0.0001. It's going to look identical to a orthosteric competitive antagonism. So it's a one-way experiment. What you look for, and here's where, when the Schild plot breaks down, it aims you towards something else. It breaks down if your plot, as you're shifting the curve, leaves linearity. It curves downward. You see that, that means you're saturating. Something's happening. That's a key thing for allosterism. So that's the first thing. Second thing is probe dependence. Orthosteric inhibitors will inhibit every agonist identically. The same potency, the same Schild plot, everything. Allosterics may vary with agonists. They won't vary with the PA2, but they will vary where the curvature occurs. So you start using different agonists, you might uncover curvature. So let's say one-way experiment. You keep testing the widest concentration range you can to try to uncover saturable behavior, curvature. And you try as many agonists as you can with that to try to uncover probe dependence. If you see both of those, you have presumptive evidence that it's allosteric, not orthosteric. If you don't, you're still stuck. You're consistent with orthosteric, you might simply have a really small alpha beta NAM, and it's masking itself as an orthosteric. And beyond that, you may want to, of course, think of structure and various other ways, because now the structural chemists and people can say, well, I have evidence that this compound's binding here. And the way I've seen that play out is the group will do a virtual screen on a target at an allosteric site or a different site from the orthosteric one, get a compound, and your compound's an analog of that. That's presumptive evidence, again, that it's not binding to the orthosteric site. Having said all that stuff, if you have a Schild plot that's linear over a thousandfold range, it may not be important to know if it's allosteric or orthosteric. You're shifting the curve in the same way, and physiologically that may be enough to give you what you want. But of course, it's still preferable to know where it binds and how it acts. So that I'll stop there.